Let's see if that makes any difference. Can you guys hear me now? You can see the screen. Hello, my coding family. Yay! Now you can hear me. Okay, awesome. How's everybody doing? I was talking away about typing. Let me let y'all, I was going to retype this again. There we go. I just typed that, and I don't know if you guys could hear me, but I had my IT director go find me a silent keyboard. Did you know there was such a thing? I get tired of hearing all my clickety-clicks all day long because I'm on the computer from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed every day. From the mouse clicking and the keyboard clicking, it just drives me nuts. I'm one of those people that don't like candy wrapper sounds. All those kind of things just irritate me for some reason. I have no idea why. And when I did the 23andMe DNA test, it actually came back as one of the reports saying that my DNA has something to do with that. So it's kind of funny. But I think he did a really good job. He found me a new keyboard, and
Hannah S. has become a member.
let me try that again. I don't know what happened, but I see the audio went down again for some reason. I don't know what I hit. But isn't that kind of cool that the keyboard doesn't make a lot of sounds? It's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Just got it from Amazon, and it has very little sound when you click on the keyboard, and the mouse is pretty silent too, which I like. Gives my ears some rest since I'm on the computer all day long. You know, I just get tired of hearing all the clickety clicks. Yay, I'm so glad y'all can hear me. How's everybody's week going? Did anybody take their exam over the weekend? And when do you plan on taking your exam? My video is just not working there either. Let me get rid of that. Add another video. Cancel. I think I have some TikTok videos to download and put on to YouTube. There we go. I'm a little Sorry guys, I deleted the audio again for some reason. I keep trying to delete my camera, my video camera, and I keep deleting the audio instead. I'm going to get my act together. But I do have some TikTok videos I need to download and put onto YouTube, but I did update a question today on YouTube, and I updated Cardiovascular on my website. That practice page for the members on the website has new cardiovascular questions today too. When is anybody taking their exam? Anybody gonna do it anytime soon? Thank you, Go Kart, for sending my mom a get well card. That was very thoughtful of you. She just loves it. That's just awesome to her. Thank you very much. Hannah, thanks for joining the YouTube membership. I hope those YouTube videos help you guys out a whole bunch. You're going to have access to all my old workshops, which have like 75 questions being done in 3 hours. My duck classes, which are like 40 to 50 questions done in 2 hours, in the same pace as what you guys are going to face on your exam. But you got sick? Aww. And you're taking it in May. I think it's an age thing with the noise. That's true, but I'm going to blame it on my DNA, since 23andMe says that is a certain thing. That according to my DNA, I'm more likely to be aggravated by the chewing noises or clicking noises. It's kind of funny. You're testing Saturday, April? Oh my goodness. I'm in school with the University of Houston, and I'm set to take my exam in December. Awesome. I hope I get to help you out, Liliac. I want to pass. I know you do, Patrice. You've worked so hard. I'm starting to mark my books with your notes. Osh, very much. I really do wish you very much luck. Awesome, awesome. Take yours May 3rd. You're very nervous about that. That's normal. Take yours April 30th. Great. June. Trying to decide if you want to take it online or in person. Either way. Don't stress too much. You've got 2 attempts. April 17th, but I may change it. I don't know how I feel. You don't know if you're ready. Your course ended February 24th. Probably nerves. Probably. See how well you do with the questions for tonight. If you're getting 90% of these correct, then you're ready for your exam. If you're only getting half of them right, then maybe you need more study time. That'll give you a good place to think about it. I was hoping that having my RN would count towards some sort of credit to remove your apprenticeship. I hope so too. You would have had to have had some sort of medical coding course along the way. I did, but I don't know. My school may have had different criteria. And I just sent those, and then a letter from a friend that said they've seen me in my daily duties on my job, working with CPT, ICD-10, and HIPAA codes in my daily duties since this time, and that was like 10 years ago, and sent both of those, and they got rid of my apprenticeship before I even took my exam. I was supposed to take it last week, but got sick. That's right. Oh, I'm going to reschedule for next month. Probably this month, but I've been practicing. I got a 76 on the practice exams. I'm thinking I should try 3 more times and hope I get closer to 80s. Yeah, closer to the 90s would be nice. And don't fret or wait on those practice exam questions. Even if you have time to do 1 question while you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you can hit grade after you do 1 question. There's unlimited exam attempts on those practice exam quizzes, and you don't have to answer all 50, or set aside time where you do all 50 at one time. Getting rid of family and the kids and having enough where you have 2 hours to do all those questions. You don't have to. You can practice them anytime and hit grade. No one's going to keep track or penalize you for anything like that. So I've got another matching thing here for you guys. I hope you guys can see it. I know the font's kind of small. The questions that we'll do after this will be a little bit bigger. But for now is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I've got A, B, C, D, and E. So one of them's a diagnosis code. I can see that right away. And then the rest are CPT codes. So if there's one of these questions up here, sorry, I muted you guys because I was going to cough. That is just a diagnosis, or talking about a diagnosis. We know one of them will be different than the other ones. So let's do this little matchy thing and see how well we do tonight. So one of them is a diagnosis. So the first thing I'm going to go through is just skim these and look for something that says diagnosis. Is that 3? Number 3? We can put C beside, I think. Pediatric diagnosis for mild asthma. Yeah, and since that's my only diagnosis one, I feel confident in doing that. All right, let's do the other 4. One of them's in the 6,000s. This one is an E&M. This one's in the medicine section, and so is E. So the E and M one might be easier since it's unique compared to the rest of them. Where do you think this E and M B goes? We have a routine observation service. We have a pediatric patient who presents for cerumen impaction. We have a pediatric patient who presents for a follow-up visit. And then we have a patient undergoing allergy testing. And if I did not get to your question or anything, you can repost it in chat if I missed you. How many hours do you suggest I do a day for notes in the books, please? Lord, it depends which certification, and if you're going for CPC, and I worked a full-time job, a couple of hours every day in the evenings. Days that my brain is fried and I can't do one more learning thing, I do my coloring those days, where I might Google ear anatomy and then look at a picture of it and see what all the body parts inside the ear do, and then just copy that data down. Or I'm just coloring and drawing lines underneath the parentheticals, my reds, my blues, and my greens, those kind of things. Or I'm doing my yellow highlights of what's inside the brackets. But other days when my brain's halfway functioning is when I would be writing and transferring notes from practice exam questions into the book. That is super helpful. But at least a couple of hours a day when you're working during the week. You printed out all your tests from AAPC and put them all in my books. I hope it helps too, Kelly. That's awesome. Good job. Question on a new member on your website are very informative and lots of details. Woo! Grateful for the material. Those questions, yeah. I hope it's not too much detail. You know I'm an overachiever. I tried to make some of the questions easy, but I know they are getting rather detailed. I'm trying to put some propaganda in them that is there, but it's useless for you, so that you guys get to see what it's like during the exam when you don't have just easy practice exam questions that are straight to the point and here's the different answers. What would you code? So you'll see some of that in that members area on my website for sure. Candace, I don't know how to get your notes from TikTok for the book. I'll show you how to do that, Candace. Everybody saying 1? B would be 1. Let me get that. Put y'all's answer there. What would be number 2? If we get rid of B, we have a pediatric patient, cerumen impaction. They're here for removal with an exam and the procedure documented. Which one of these codes would be for a cerumen impaction? And it's kind of cool. You've already got the description of the CPT codes here with it. Yeah, A, easy peasy. Then we've only got to think about number 4 and number 5. Number 4 is a patient who's here for a follow-up for otitis media, and they're going to get this test done. Would that be D or E? Yep, D. Perfect. And then E will have to be number 5. Next time I'll make sure to not add in the descriptions of the codes, and that would make the test more challenging, I'm sure. But there we go. They were almost in order. Only A and B were mixed up. So good job. Let's move on to ICD-10. Anybody want to take the CRC? Just curious if anybody wants to take that. I want to make some notes for that. What the first thing that I would do is, of course, don't read the question. What we would do is, for the exam, is just think about your chapter headers for each section of the book based off each answer. If that makes any sense. Whatever I'm trying to say is we're going to go to N. Go look at any page in the N section and see what that chapter header is for. So we got gent urinary, GU. If it's a T code, we are in the injuries, external causes, and if we're Z, we're thinking about status answers. They have a history of, or they're here for chemotherapy treatment. Those are status diagnoses. Think about those before you worry about anything else in that question. Then the one thing that you're going to look for is, why did they come out the door today? What brought them into the office today? And that will help you decide which answer is correct. This one did have a transplant. What do you guys think the answer is? Thanks, Twinkle. Deborah, I really like your bonus membership info on the website. You're very welcome. So far, I got 3 chapters up: E&M, cardiology, and integumentary. Woo! All those PDFs you get to download. The details are good. It helps to look harder for the keywords. It does. I recently got laid off my job of 12 years, so I don't want to overdo it daily. Yeah. If you're laid off and you don't have a job right now, a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours in the evening, don't stress yourself out. Don't do 10-hour days, 5-hour days. It's too much. You know, do it between laundry and dishes and keep your house and things and your self-care the way you feel good about it. That way you don't feel guilty about the stuff that should be getting done. But spend a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours in the evening. You'll do good. We got A's and D's. We will need our status for our transplant, but we will need to do our assigning of the CKD. So you know you're going to have 2 diagnoses. We have 1 answer with 1 diagnosis, and then the rest have 2. So you know you're going to get rid of C. Now you're down to 75% chance, right? Then you just need to know, does the injury code go first? Does the status code go first, or does the kidney problem go first? What does the current patient status indicate in this chart? Currently, the patient has stage 2 kidney disease, and that would be what the doctor would be drawing labs for, would be ordering, probably 24-hour urine protein capture. These are things that would get the patient out the door to see a physician every 3 months or so. Yes, they'll need follow-up yearly for their transplant, but what's going to get the kid or the person out the door right now is definitely A. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Add. So she was asking about what was on my website and where to find some stuff. So my notes won't be on TikTok. They will be on my website. It's right up here, medicalcodingbyjen.com. And if you come here, I got lots of free stuff for you too. Of course, in the shop are where my notes are at. And there's an automatic coupon that will populate in the shopping cart when you go to checkout. As you put things in, you can also do Affirm. It's at the checkout button if you need to, but I pay all the fees that Affirm. There's no late fees, there's no interest or anything else. Any of the fees that Affirm charges, I charge, so that you guys can get a coupon and you get the notes. I have ICD-10 notes there for anybody doing CRC or anything. CPT notes are here, and then a couple of workshops, and then CPMA study guide. I have a study guide for E&M, and I have a study guide for integumentary and muscle. I'm still working on the rest of them. Underneath on the home page, if you do decide to get Pocket Prep, I've partnered with Pocket Prep. I've been endorsing them for a couple of years now anyway. They noticed and they gave us a link. And if you do click the link and purchase Pocket Prep, it's a great way to practice any medical coding exam. You just go to medical right there and then click the top one for AAPC, CPC, and they have 750 practice exam questions that are in the same format as the exam. You can use an app or you can do it on your desktop, and they only charge, they went up a little bit, $15.99 a month if you do it month to month, or if you do $37 for 3 months, it's only $12 a month, and you get access to all the questions. Super cool. They have rationales, and you can build exams here. Like if you only want to do E&M, you can build that exam, or you only want to do guidelines. They have that. They have cases and stuff like that. So really reasonable prices. Love Pocket Prep. Just use the link there if you want to purchase it, and then we get money back from Pocket Prep on that, and then I use it to give out free memberships to my YouTube channel. Social media tab is really cool. That's where you'll find our Facebook, Pinterest, and our free study group right here on Discord, which is super, super handy. It's excellent. It holds almost 3 years worth of information in one website with tons of videos, pictures, and stuff like that. It's free. This is when I go live, and where is on that page. If you go to the resources tab, there's an FAQ tab right there. It'll tell you how to get onto Discord, what our study group looks like. But if you click the third sentence down, this is my best list of free resources. This is where you can find stuff like you want free certifications from Medicare, from CMS. They have free educational site with tons of lessons. That's where the link is right there. You can get certified in fraud and abuse. They have an ICD-10 course right now on the website. It's completely free, unlimited exam attempts. You will get a certificate, and you can add that to your resume. There's a lot of stuff on there. There's a link here for the scholarship for AAPC. There's a free grant even for Pocket Prep, which is listed here. The free AAPC monthly magazine with 20 questions in it every month. The link is there too. So super helpful to go to the FAQs. Underneath the CPT book prep page, this will show you what to do as far as step 1, step 2, step 3 to prepare your books for. If you don't have access to my notes and you want to do it by yourself, I'm showing you exactly what I did and how I did it. You just click on each picture, and then it'll give you the instructions on what to do. This will tell you how to mark up your anatomy notes, and this will tell you how to mark up your ICD-10 book. And there's other free goodies here too. So I've got free videos, the individual book prep videos for the digestive system. I have a blog here that is super helpful with lots of different coding scenarios, and also there's job resources in there for there's this one that is job related, and then this one, the Unlocking the Coding Career, has a list of employers and other advice that's super helpful. It's all free. You just click on it and you can read it. Blogs, the practice area page, click on an answer and it'll tell you what the answer is. It's very much like my bonus member area, but this is just free for everybody. I also have, after all these questions, I have 3 flashcard videos, sets. So there's 3 sets of flashcards here that you can practice with. What I'm looking for is I'm just giving you like 99215, and you're supposed to guess which correct, which that one would be established office visit. So that kind of thing. This is to help you learn your E&M codes without having to look in your book. And every time you finish the flashcard quiz, if you want to redo it or do it again, leave the program and then rejoin it again is how you do that. And then this is just a set of PDFs from about the heart that you can download, and if you put it in presentation mode in the PowerPoint presentation, you can interactively answer the questions. It will answer which parts of the heart are all these little positions as you click the enter button, and it'll fill in all the blanks, but you can also practice with it, but you can also download it as a PDF or whatever. The new site that we have now is the membership plan that I have. I have one for a page for a ton of E&M questions in integumentary and cardiovascular with extra bonus PDFs for you to download. If you want to be a member of that, it's $5.99 a month, and I'm constantly updating and putting new questions on. And then the shared gallery is free for everybody. It's my favorite pictures, anatomy pictures, E&M pictures, cardiovascular pictures, things that you need for the exam that no one will tell you, like the baby blue and pink photos here, the ones that Twinkle put in. Those are super important because I told you that you need the information that's on these sheets in your books. When you view one of these pages, there's a list of CPTs on your left. On the very right is how many components are inside each of those vaccines. You need to go find those CPT codes and write down that number beside each one. If you happen to get the one immunization question that asks you to add components to each vaccine to get an answer, you need these components. And if you don't have them, then they're not in the book. So super helpful information if you want to know what books do I use, how many questions are on the exam, how do I get rid of my apprenticeship, how do I get an extra hour to take the exam in 5 hours instead of 4. All that can be answered here with these pictures. How do I bind my book so it's not unraveling all over the place? What kind of note do I need to send in to get rid of my apprenticeship or for my ADA doctor? Those kind of things. Super helpful. Favorite pictures are right there. So tons of free stuff on the website, but also a membership that is super helpful. The E&M will be like practice questions that go on for days and days and days and days. But also over here to the side, I've got tons of PDFs that you guys get to download for free that will help you out for sure on exam day. But also with these, you just click on it and it'll tell you the rationale. And then they get kind of wordy towards the end. Down here, we were talking about some of the wordy ones that are going to have extra info in them that you don't need, but pretty good rationale that goes with them. So just click on it and it'll tell you what the answer is. But that's my website. I hope it's helpful. Don't forget that if you're here at the YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the community tab, because there's practice exam questions there that are also interactive. You just click on the answer you think it is correct, and then when you click on the answer, it'll give you the rationale. It's super helpful. All right, let me get back to our documents here and finish with our questions. Where am I at? There we go. Of course, our answer was A with that one. Got another one. You will get one like this on your exam for sure. They're going to ask you probably this question. This is a super slimmed down, trimmed question in this area. Yours will probably be much wordier. I'm so glad you like Pocket Prep. That's awesome. Changed my mind to D. I like that. Yes, of course. You can write and highlight and color in your book. No worries. Yes, Crystal is taking the CRC. My ICD-10 notes are already really good for CRC. I just need to do something for the guidelines and the regulations for CRC. But my ICD-10 notes for pain, especially for the cancer, those are all awesome notes for the ICD-10 book. The ones for the abuse, really good notes for CRC. Yes, Kelly, I dream about codes. I dream about numbers and letters, buildings or bridges are built out of codes. And I'm always trying to teach. No, that's in the wrong spot. You need to move that bridge over there. And this one over here. Yeah, that's the right order. Taking the test on Friday. Oh, great, Marianne. I hope it helps. You found the wrong answer? Absolutely, Marianne. Let me know. I've been writing them and telling them when they got wrong answers. I found 4 or 5 already this year. I still have that 100 questions to go through that I haven't audited yet that are incorrect. I have sent them. Pocket Prep. Where is my... Go. I wonder if I gotta... Wonder which question it is that's... I might have already sent it to them, but sign in. Ugh. Let me see. If I could get to... Where is... I'm having trouble finding my where to send them a message. I usually have it here on the bottom, but sometimes their site is just... Where is their help button? They moving their help button on me. There it is, help. Let's see. My messages. They have under the window capture, properties. So I've been talking to Emily and Sabrina. We've submitted this integumentary one to them to fix. We submitted this musculoskeletal one, and then there was another one before it, another musculoskeletal one. Those two, and this one for another musculoskeletal one where they had the same answer written down for answers 1, 3, and 4 were the same. One of those kind of things. But they are super nice and very responsive, and the questions are fixing to update too with the rationale so that it matches the 2024 book. So they are fixing to update their question list. Oh, I'm so glad you found me too, Libra. I am doing just live lessons Monday and Tuesday. No, Monday and Wednesdays are on TikTok, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are here on YouTube. And that's the only tutoring I'm doing, except for the workshops on Sundays once a month. This month it will be free because it's my birthday month, and I like to give away the workshop for free on my birthday month. Last month I did not do one. My mom fell and broke her hip, and we were in the hospital for a while, and it was just a stressful month. I did not have time to plan for 100 questions. So I don't see the ICD-10 listed on your website using my phone. Is it just me? Let me get back there. I'll show you. Let me switch this back to, I'll try to. Maybe there. There we go. So shop, and it may be just a website kind of thing, but it's the second set right here. Should be the ICD-10 ones, but it doesn't look like it, does it? Where's my ICD-10? We've got, oh, it's up here. That's because so it's the second set, ICD-10. This one is the top 10 list. That's the anatomy. So this is just the guidelines. This one is all the pregnancy notes for anything doing with pregnancy, even diabetes. This one is sepsis and HIV notes. This was all the diabetes notes. And then we're going to have something else. Where are the pain ones? HIV, pregnancy. If you keep scrolling, all the notes are all listed in all these. I bet we do have a search feature on our website too. Do I have to go home for that? Does it only work on home? Right here in the middle of the home page, type ICD, and it should bring you up all the ICD-10 notes right there too. And all the videos, if there is any. But let me know if you keep having trouble with it. Let me close that and get back to this. Anybody got an answer for this ICD-10 question? We know we're going to have an injury and diabetes. Which one? Everybody saying A? Get my mouse to working. Even my mouse is quiet now. I love it. Guideline question. Which of the following is not true? So 3 of these answers are correct. You need to find the one answer that is incorrect. Conditions listed on the problem list for diabetic patients are coded as complications of diabetes. If documentation does not state the diabetes, but indicates that the patient is on insulin, we code E11. Documentation that indicates cause and effect in relationship due to, caused by, with, and secondary to, and a causal relationship is assumed between diabetes and a complication when the term with links to together in the alphabetical index. Which one is not true? A, B, C, or D? I'm thinking about, because I know I don't have enough time to prep 100 questions by this Sunday. Next Sunday is the 14th, my birthday. I doubt anybody's doing anything for it. So I may do it the 14th or the 21st. I just haven't started prepping questions yet. So we may do it. We may spend my birthday together if I can just prep the questions in time. I know some people had their exam scheduled for like the 10th of April and stuff, but I just don't think I can prep 100 questions between now and then. Mom's got physical therapy on Thursday. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. She needs we need shower day tomorrow. Today I had Travis's meeting at the school we have to do annually at 7 a.m. Yesterday he had a doctor's appointment in Vegas. That was a 4-hour trip. I have not stopped. So it's been crazy. My brain is not working. How long are we able to keep the purchases? I know my certificate course only lets me have access for 1 year. Is it the same? I think my downloads on my website want you to download them within 30 days, but I can always resend the link. Doesn't bother me, even if you come back 2 years later and still want the download. I know on Etsy, the link never goes away. It's just inside your Etsy shop under your purchased items. It's best seen if you are on a desktop computer, but you just go to your purchases and your downloads are always there for you to download. You don't have to wait for an email or anything. But on my website, I believe you have to download them within 30 days. I wish Wix wouldn't do that. Who I used to build my website didn't have that issue. I would love for them to just store them in your account and always have them there in case your computer blows up and you need a new computer and then you got to re-download them again or whatever. But you know, I'm not going anywhere. I've been here almost 4 years now, and I am retiring from my full-time job this summer, end of May. That'll be my 30th year in the medical field since 1994. So I am actively trying to wean myself out of a real job. I just got to pay for health insurance. So if I can do that, thank you for my birthday. I really hope I'm able to find an internship. But Jen, can you help with a question? Always can help with questions. A is the answer for this one. Perfect. Good job. What do you guys think about this question? Another guideline question. How are resolved conditions coded? Our resolved conditions are reported as current if included in today's problem list. Our resolved conditions are reported as history when it is appropriate. Are they reported as current as secondary diagnoses, or are they reported for 1 year after onset? Oh, it's the least I could do. Is a little workshop. We could spend 3 hours together on my birthday and work through 75 questions in 3 hours in the same pace as the exam so that you know what you're going to face. There's nothing more pressing than that. It's very fast. You wouldn't think 3 hours would go by that fast, or 75 questions. It's fast. B is correct. Good job. You guys know your guidelines. Which of the following is false regarding this disease? Can it affect coronary heart arteries? It affects the veins, or affects LDL, or is a chronic disease that remains asymptomatic for decades? While we were in Vegas, we went to a brand new grocery store that had just opened up, and somebody had done a TikTok on it. And so my IT director said, you got to go and get me some of this, that, and the other thing. So I went, but I did get, oh, it's not going to show up. My camera's not working again. So silly. I got to reboot this computer. Video capture. The Snapple. It's cherry fig black tea. Oh my goodness. Very interesting. Cherry fig black tea. I only got one, but it's something different, something new. I know it doesn't have peppermint in it, but if you are going to take your coding exam, be sure and take some peppermint with you, even if it's peppermint bubble gum. Drink some peppermint tea. Real medical studies have shown that exam takers that take in peppermint during an exam score higher than they do when they don't. And that's the only change to their environment, is adding peppermint. It's really weird. Very interesting. So every little bit helps. I think we got some of you on this one. This one is B as in boy. It affects the veins. Which statement is coded as a history condition? Is it when a patient presents with history of colon cancer, currently being treated with chemotherapy? Patient has a history of osteoporosis, currently taking Celebrex. A patient has CHF, complains of shortness of breath, or a patient presents for follow-up for hypertension and has a history of breast cancer. Check on chat. Thank you. I'm once again behind for taking notes. I will be purchasing once. You can make your notes by yourself too, Jessica. You don't have to purchase them. I often recommend you attempt the exam yourself with your own notes by going through my website and utilizing all the free resources you can, and trying to make your notes yourself with my instructions, and then watching my lives and stuff, or even the YouTube membership gives you access to the book prep videos where I'm going code by code, making some book prep videos. It's not every code in every chapter, but I do have some videos on every chapter. And we go through, and if you are a YouTube member, you will get to see and have access to those videos, and you can try to make your video and make your notes by yourself. If you fail the exam and you got to take it your second time, that's when I recommend you buy my notes. Then you can focus on 3 or 4 chapters that you did the lowest in, copy my notes, and do better the next time you take your exam. I hope that you guys can just watch my videos, utilize all my free resources, and never have to spend a dime on me. I really do. That's my whole goal, is to make a difference for you guys, and help you get a better job or better career without having to spend any money. That brings me so much joy. I really hope for that. But if you need them, the notes are there. And I'm giving 5 memberships right now to the YouTube channel. I just sent YouTube some money, and YouTube will pick out winners. Julie, Marianne, April, Zena, and Hey Mom just won YouTube memberships. I hope those help out a whole bunch. You found another error in Pocket Prep now? Awesome, Marianne. This one is D. Very good. Perfect. Another ICD-10 one. Are we in E41, E43, E46? Or do we have 2 diagnoses for this patient? Patient has severe protein calorie malnutrition. I think this one was on my CPC exam, but I took it way back when it was 150 questions, not just 100. So, but I remember something about calorie protein on one of my questions on my exam. That's probably why I grabbed this question. Is that 1 or 2 diagnoses? And if it's 1, are we 41, 43, 46? What do you guys think? I went on an interview and they told me that I would get hired because I have no experience. They told me that I just need an externship. Awesome. Be sure and check with home health agencies. Home health agencies always hire nurses right out of nursing school. They're probably the only place that will hire a nurse without any experience at all. Home health agencies give them the opportunity to practice their skills on real life patients, and I bet there's medical coding opportunities there too. Don't forget about EHR companies, the companies that make data warehouses and electronic patient charts. They need medical coders to audit and scrub their systems. Also, people that are building electronic medical record systems need people that know medical codes and can help them build their systems. Amazon just opened a huge medical group and a pharmacy line. They need help. Don't forget about radiology companies like RadNet. They all need medical coders. Sometimes you can just get your foot in the door, working for customer service or setting appointments for medical groups, and then you can transition into a medical coding job once you got your foot in the door. Don't forget to go to and actually sign up for your local chain of commerce. site, because their Facebook groups or their email list will let you know every time a new hospital wing, a new medical or radiology or something is going to open up. And go to their open houses. You get snacks, which is great because they always have juice and cookies and stuff. But you can also take your resume and say you're a medical coder in the area, and if they have any medical coding issues, you're around if they need help. And just leave your resume and have some snacks and look over the new radiology wing or the new esthetician's office or whatever. Be sure and attend all the open houses. Everybody's saying B. Good job, guys. Another guideline question. A patient has diagnosed diabetes and gangrene and osteomyelitis. Which of the following is most true? There's going to be multiple truths, but which one is the most true? I can't do these questions. I always have a terrible time with this. So I look for similarities. Even with wordy questions, we've got conditions listed with diagnosis of diabetes or in a diabetic patient are usually complications of diabetes. Diabetes can have a causal relationship with the condition. There is an assumption that the gangrene and the osteomyelitis is secondary due to the diabetes, or gangrene is usually associated with type 1 diabetes. Which one is most true? I hate these questions. As an auditor, true is true. There is no elevation of the truest. That's just my brain does not work that way. But what do you guys think the answer is? Hey, Vicki, I'm so glad you're here. You're needing lots of advice and book help. Oh, awesome. You're in the right spot for sure. Let's see about your question E43 and E46. I gotta turn on some lights. It's getting dark here in Arizona. Finally, the sun is going down. Just barely. E43. '46 is unspecified. '43 is unspecified. One of them is severe protein, and the other one is just protein. The severe is something different. Because it's the longest? You like that one? It's simply just because of that one word, the severe word. Sorry, I was returning back and answering Tamlin's question. Just simply that one word. Plus, you got two answers with the same answer. When you're doing aapc questions, there's a reason why they would have two of the same. What I would do with this question, I would notice those two are the same right away. I would immediately get rid of this one and get rid of this one. I wouldn't look them up, and I would just look at my question, and if I didn't know it off the top of my head, but this seems like this would just be one diagnosis, I would just pick B and move on with my day, because it would be highly unlikely for this to be two diagnoses. They're just trying to make me think that it is. It's what they mostly do in these questions. But without opening a book, I would pick B anyway. Just with the process of looking for similarities. But in actuality, in the book, the only difference between E46 and E43 is that one word, severe. And that's it. This question is B. It is not our longest one. Conditions listed with a diagnosis of diabetes or in a diabetic patient are usually complications of diabetes. It's kind of true. Diabetes have a causal relationship to these conditions. That's true too. And there is an assumption that gangrene and osteomyelitis are secondary to diabetes. That one's incorrect. Gangrene is usually associated with diabetes. Darn one. No, incorrect. But out of these two, the fancy medical coding terms is causal relationship. You always want to look for those terms because that's just what terms medical coders use. This says the same thing without saying causal relationship. So it's, yeah. You just want to always look for these terms, that term right there, because that's the official fancy medical coder word. All right. Which sentence below best describes the attributes of an absence seizure, the PET mall? Goodness, is it going to be causing stiffness in the muscles, characterized by a blank stare, associated with brief jerks, or rhythmic jerks? We're in time with some music. Is that what's going on? Yep. You're very welcome, very welcome. Glad you're here, Vicki. Thank you, thank you. Nursing has the same type of questions. Yep, I hate those most correct. It is awful. Awful, 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 awful. Very good, blank stare. Good job, good job. What is the function of the spinal cavity? Protect the vertebrae, protect the spinal cord, protect the kidneys, protect the pleural. Good job. Protect the spinal cord. First time I did that question, I caught everybody, but no one's getting caught now. Which statement is true regarding rule out diagnoses? Another guideline question. A code for a rule-out diagnosis can be coded when coding for any reason. A code for rule-out diagnosis can be coded in an outpatient setting only. The provider can document the rule-out diagnosis, but a code is not selected to report it. A provider can document rule-out diagnosis and select a secondary code to report with it. Lots of C's? These are in your ICD-10 guideline books. Let me show you. Let's see. Oops. Don't need you. Go there. Dinosaurs. Sign in. Sign in. Let's go to Vitasource. Go to my bookshelf. I got every book known to man. If you don't have the electronic version of the book, this is harder, but maybe we could do rule out. Will it come out that way? Inconclusive, suspectable, ruling out your diagnosis. You will have a set of guidelines in the front of your book that hopefully you have got highlighted and moved to the coding area. Oh, that video still is not working. But hopefully you've got your guidelines already marked up and you've remembered you highlighted or done something about those. Video. Let me see if I can't. That's not going to work. Yes, we'll delete. Yes, we'll delete. Yes, we'll delete. And yes, we'll add. Still not going to work. My camera is being finicky today. Because I need to reboot my computer. I've not rebooted it all weekend long. Showing up, guys. I'm sorry, I can't show you my notes right now. I'm not being polite, but hopefully you've gone to your guidelines in the front of your book. You've highlighted all this stuff. It tells you exactly what to do, when to do, how to do it. Also, if you have AAPC's Hip Picks book, they have in the back of their book, if you do get their version of it, they do have a list of general coding, correct coding policies too in the back of it. Their book has almost 800 pages in it, so they got a lot of stuff in here, like the MUE edits and stuff like that, but they do have a lot of, a whole section of general coding policies and stuff that's super helpful, along with the CMS publications. They have 100 of them. How you deal with blood deductibles, how do you deal with all kinds of stuff back here. All our ambulance services, there's a question on the exam about ambulance services, advanced life support and basic life support. You got to know that basic life support is just 2 EMTs, and that advanced life support has paramedic on board. So this stuff is helpful. If you're taking an AAPC exam, it's really helpful to get their HIPICs and to get their ICD-10 book, because they have decision trees, lots of things in them that they might test you on. But I'll let you know in advance a little bit about that stuff. So if you have the Optum version, it won't be such a big deal. But they have a ton of these decision trees that do make some of the guidelines a little bit easier. Nearly every page will have a decision tree that does take all these wordy things and turns it into something a little bit easier sometimes with some of the guidelines. My favorite is this one, the use, abuse, and dependence guideline, that is very crazy to read and try to understand. But this gives you a step ladder thing. If you have a patient that has dependence and use documented, then you know you only code dependence. If they have use and abuse, you know you only code abuse that day. So you only code one of these, not all three in the same day. But I like their little description of how they do it. And you know, some of the decision trees are big, but they are helpful, and they're only found in the AAPC books. All right, where was I at? I was in a Word document, wasn't I? We can get rid of that, and we can get rid of that. We can come back to this question. Hopefully that helped. Don't forget, in the very front of your ICD-10 book and your CPT book, there is a how do I use this book page. In the CPT book, it's like from XX to XV or something like that. Maybe I got it backwards. But it'll say instructions on how to use this book. It'll tell you all about the symbols, what it means, what each paragraph or indentation means. Super helpful to at least read that once. It took me years before I read those pages. I was already playing in the book, but it made more sense after that too. Nothing is a silly question. I'm sorry, I don't know what page that is. What are the requirements for an ADA exam? All you need is a doctor's note. They can't really ask about diagnoses and stuff. I mean, I don't know. But it's about the atopic pregnancy. Is it with Pocket Prep or My Error? For the ADA, just having a signed prescription from a doctor saying that you require additional time for long exams, for bathroom breaks, for neck exercises, for mental health, whatever. Something very simple, one sentence. It doesn't matter. I've got an example on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com. You can go to the shared gallery, it's free, and there's an example of somebody else's note talking about her IBS. And the doctor got really detailed. You don't need all that. I don't even think they can ask for a diagnosis. I think they do, but I don't think they are allowed to. But just something simple. I'm so happy, Kelly. Did anybody get an answer for this rule out one? What do you guys think is the answer for this one? We've got a couple of C's and some B's and D's, maybe? Mary Ann, are we talking about a pocket prep question? Is that what she was talking about? And Vicki, I hope I can help you out. Yeah, just a simple note. It doesn't have to be such a big thing. Even if you wear glasses and you need eye strain break, anything, you know. You need to go outside and cry for 5 minutes, whatever. Your exam time won't stop, but if you got 5 hours, then you've got 3 minutes per question instead of 2 minutes per question. So it can make a difference. I think that anybody that can take the exam and finish it in 3 hours and 20 minutes for 100 questions is going to pass. The reason is because you didn't read any of the questions. I recently, in January, took the CPMA exam. It was 100 questions. 35 of the questions are cases. They're huge cases. They have like 3 questions. They have a lot of documents you got to look through because you're having to do the billing part of it too. They build this. Is this correct? Are these modifiers correct? I mean, you got to look for physician signatures. You got to do a lot of stuff. The other half of the exam is guidelines and questions about that, and then they have a portion of E&M stuff you have to get right. Still 100 questions. I did it in 2 hours and 6 minutes and passed. That means that I spent less than 60 seconds per question. If you take in my considerations of clicking and moving from one screen to the other, if I ended my exam and got through telling my proctor that I'm done with the exam and we can close out in 2 hours and 6 minutes, then that means I didn't read a dang thing on that thing. I just went to the answers and I picked the correct answer based off looking at the answers, using the process of elimination, utilizing what was the answer for that same sort of code group during my practice exams, or even the same type of answer group. If they were talking about the rubber stamp, that question is on the exam twice. When can you use a rubber stamp for a physician's signature? Well, it's when a physician has a medical ADA, right? And I knew when I saw rubber stamp as I flew by the question and looked down at the bottom at the answers, and I saw rubber, I knew my answer was going to be looking for that ADA, or the answer was no, because they have the question written twice. No, they can't use it, or they have it written down that they can actually with an ADA from the doctor. So you can do this exam in 4 hours, I promise. Just don't read the questions. Go to the answers first. Look at these answers first. That's why we do these questions this way. Look at the difference between these CPT codes. Hopefully you've already got the difference written down. This one is counseling. That's your one-word difference. This is just a vaccine. A shot was given that day. What's our question? What are they asking us? What is the correct way to bill an administration of a vaccine? Well, the first thing I need to know, was there counseling done or was there not counseling done? So I'm going to search this question further and look for the one-word difference, which is counseling. And I do see it, so I know no matter what, my answer is going to be B. and I can move on to my next question. The only thing that I did here is I didn't read none of this other mess. I just looked at my last sentence to see what they're asking me to pick out an answer about, and then based off of these different answers, what was my difference? My biggest difference in these immunizations is whether counseling was done or not, and they have to mention it if it was done. They have to say the word counseling or something very, very close. Like they talked about the components. If they say the word components or they say the word counseling, that's my one word difference, and I know my answer is 60 because I've practiced these immunization questions. Don't read the questions, even these wordy ones. They're asking you about Z codes. When can we do Z codes? Is it when it's a risk factor? They're not in the USA. Another risk factor and another risk factor. Okay, we've got 3 answers with risk factors and then one weirdo. That helps me get down to a correct answer for sure. They're saying, when is it appropriate to report a Z code? I know I can report a Z code. We do have a Z code, so I know C is silly. So I know it has to be one of these. And then I would just narrow it down. What are they saying about the risk factors in these? I'm still trying not to read the entire sentence word for word, because that's just going to slow you down. We've got the words anytime. Anytime they say anytime, always, never. Sometimes you want to avoid those kind of answers because nothing is always encoding. Nothing is never encoding. So that gets me down to A or D. They've got one that isn't necessary or affects the patient condition and treatment. Yep, you're just going to pick keywords and pick an answer and let it go. If you come to this exam with your either 5-year history of medical coding in the doctor's office, history behind you, and you try to medically code these questions and answers during your exam, you're going to fail. What you need to do is just simply go straight to the answers. We're looking at the answers. If they have 2 answers that start out the same, there's a reason why. Run to that code. See what that CPT code is. Would you use a 52 modifier in that area, or would you add a cardiovascular code with it? What would you normally do? Do we use 52 modifier in integumentary? What has Jen said? Jen has been a little bird on your shoulder. What do you think your answer will be? We did a lump in the breast, and we did lymph nodes in this and that area. Is that 1 CPT code, or is that 2 CPT codes? That might help you get down to the correct answer too. Think about these answers. If this is true, this is just 1 CPT code. If this is true, then it's a half of a CPT code, because 52 modifier is a reduced in services. That means we didn't do something all in on this procedure. If it's answer C, we did 2 procedures. If it's answer D, we did 1 procedure. we would be doing, let's see, if it was sometimes I've seen this question with that answer before, and it gets kind of crazy because both of them are partial mastectomies, you know. Just one of them is with the axillary, so kind of helpful to know your differences between those. But the main thing is, and they even say it on the AAPC website, if the answers start out with the same answer for two of the questions, there's usually a reason. Go on and get rid of the rest of the stuff. They just want to know if you know the differences between whatever's going on in B and whatever's going on in C. There's probably a parenthetical talking about if you did this and that muscle, add the 3000 code. It's probably around that area. I think this question was the one that I added to YouTube today under the community tab, and I wanted to know if you guys knew if you were in the 206 area, in the 226 area, or the 256. My intuition, of course, always is, since B and C start off with the same answer, we're going to immediately not think about A and D. And then if it was B, we've got one CPT. If it was C, we've got two CPTs, one from wherever we're at, lungs or cardio, and then we also have an integumentary. So what I'm going to do through this question that's 2 pages is see, what did I fix today? What did I surgically fix today? I did a repair of an artery. And what else did I do? If anything else, or is that it? What do you guys think the answer is for this one? How to do insurance of our medical qualifications. I don't know how to answer the second part. Internships I do for medical assistants. I know a medical group that has 4 locations that does hire for medical assistants. But medical coding, because I'm not a medical coder for my job. I'm a medical auditor, and I never worked for our coding department. We sent ours out to 2 years before COVID, we sent ours out of the country to code, and we fired all of our medical coders and billers, and then that lasted 2 years, and then we hired them back. COVID hit. They all went remote, and I think they still have them. Rochelle is still office manager for the coding department, and I don't know if they take externs, but I know we have for medical assistants. I know AAPC is supposed to help you with that. There's a whole side of their website that is dedicated to externships and how to get into it. I've not dived into it. Yeah, send me an email. So with this one, you were looking to see if you did 2 procedures or 1. Doing the questions this way will help you stay away from the propaganda. They write in their exam preparation roadmap that they use psychomediast in their exam writing, so that they know they have people that help them write questions that are tricky mentally for you guys, so that if you read everything word for word, it might mislead you to the wrong answer. So the way I do the questions, I get rid of the human nature part of you, which is reading the whole question and then doing the answer like you're in grade school. If we get rid of that human nature, then you can do these questions in a minute per question without looking up a lot of stuff in your books. You're just skimming this question. Did I do 1 procedure or 2? You found 2. We did a laceration repair and we did a femoral artery repair. The artery is definitely separate from the thigh. You know you did 2 procedures. We've got 2 answers that start off with the same answer. One of them has 2 procedures. You know for a fact your answer is going to be C. Pick it and let it go and move on to your next question. It is the fastest, most efficient way to pass this exam with a passing grade. If you go through here and you try to prove to somebody that you're a really good medical coder by going through here and medically coding these situations, you're going to pick the wrong answer because you're going to spend too much time on those questions. So the exam is already coded for you. You don't need to prove to anybody that you're a good coder. Not for this. Definitely do not. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Let me get back to here. Don't forget, guys, that let me get to here, and are we on here? Does that help? No? Window capture. Yes. Want to go here. When you're in Pocket Prep, if you guys do have Pocket Prep, you know your study tab is right here. Your stat tab is here. Your review tab is here. I don't know why it says 500. It should say 750. But you've got access to all the questions all at once. And then the question can be over here, of course. Any of the questions you can switch to. But it also gives you the rationale and the question all on the same page when you click and you're in this review area, which is kind of nice sometimes. Don't forget, when you're here at the study area, you can build an exam. Yeah, we'll resume. I don't know why I've got all this stuff going on up here, but we can get rid of it right there. This is what Pocket Prep looks like. You can get rid of certain answers by scratching them out, which is kind of nice. And then you can pick which answer you like and then see if you got it right with rationale. You can skip ahead to questions too if you want to, and then you can go back and build a different exam. I think I have cardiology going on right now. I think all cardiology. This is interesting, this passage thing that comes up. I'm not quite sure why that's there when I haven't picked an answer yet, but it's kind of interesting that they're telling me something about one of these codes before we even picked an answer. I don't know what's going on there, but it's interesting. Interesting for sure. I'm excited for them to pick out and update their site, because I'm interested in their new changes that they're going to have. Now, somebody said there was a question that is wrong somewhere in OB and delivery, I think they said. So where would we be at? 5,000s, 50,000, somewhere around there. Scoochie it on over. Look at all those questions from that area. And they said it was, what did they say it was? I think I'll know it when I see it. The name of the, is it a miscarriage or something? And if you have a problem with one of their questions, they do have an email that you can email them, or you can email me, and I can tell them their answer is wrong. Antepartum, lithotripsy. Let me check chat and see if she's still on. It is a pocket prep question. It was the atopic, that's right, the atopic pregnancy. Okay, let's see. That's tubal ligation. I'll get there. Missed abortion. Miscarriage, no. That's not atopic. It'll be here somewhere. Sling. Foreign body. Lumps. IUD. Histo. Urinary. Biopsy. Let me know if I pass it. Ablation, cyst, stent, ED, kidneys. One of my very best friends had that. She has a beautiful daughter now. Okay. VBAC. Voiding. Cystocele. Did I already pass it? I hope not. Oh Lord, Travis is on. He had cheer today. Here we go. Spontaneous or IUD. I see 2 spontaneouses. Maybe I don't have your question. I don't do private tutoring because I work a full-time job, have 3 sons and my mom, and I teach here 4 nights a week for you guys for free, so I barely have time to sleep. I do workshops 1 Sunday a month. I've missed 1 month in the last 4 years. I used to do one-on-one tutoring, but it is way too hard because I have to prep questions just for you in your situation, and then there's the hour or 2 hour long tutoring, and then there's follow-up afterwards. It's just a lot of prep to prep an hours long questions and stuff like that. So I just give it away for free. That's why I do these tutorings online 4 nights a week for free. Just ask your questions while you're here, while you've got my attention. It was atopic. I wonder which one it was. I wonder if I go to the review if it would bring up the word atopic. I have really good notes about the pregnancy and these miscarriages, if it's spontaneous, I draw a line through these miscarriages in the CPT book, and the ones above are spontaneous. They just happen naturally, and doc has to go in and fix it. Then the ones below this line are all physician-induced, means they didn't happen naturally, and the doctor has to go in there and do that. Knowing those two differences is super helpful. And knowing where that line is between those codes is really helpful for that. I wonder, quick quiz, if we can go to review, and I wonder if it's only going to bring up EPT. It's probably not going to bring it up, is it? So I only have 500 questions here. Oh, I'll keep looking for it. Go back to this. Whoops. Go back to this. We can do some more practice exam questions from my website. So if y'all are in the bonus E&M and integumentary or cardiology area, integumentary is pretty cool too. Got lots of PDFs and stuff that are super helpful for you guys on that side. Tons of cool stuff over there. We get down here to some of the wordy ones, maybe. Need some more division. Cardiovascular questions too. I don't know why the page, I have to write the medical code for these, why they separate the first one and then all the rest are down here. I don't know why. I can't get, every time I scooch them and move them over to this particular blank area, they won't stay there. They scoochy on down. These are some of the new questions from today. So we have the differences between the 33213, whether you have two CPT codes or just one, the 49 or the 08. And Miss Janice starts way up here, and then we talk about Dr. Phillip, and then you got to worry about the outcome. I don't know if y'all can even see what's going on because it's rather oh God, I can already hear Travis's music. Travis, turn it off now. That child. What do you guys think the answer is for this one? The answer started with a 1312. Okay. We still have 31 on and 22 likes on the YouTube video. Thank you much, guys. 197 views. That's really cool. What are the differences between your CPT codes? Whoops, I went too far. Between your 33213, your 33249, the 208, or the 206. Those differences, they might be chapter differences, like some of them might be defibrillators and some of them might be something totally different. What did you do today? Did you just replace the battery, or did you replace leads? My questions are tough. If you can do my questions, then you are way prepared for your exam. What would be more likely the correct answer? Would it be one CPT code or two? What does AAPC normally like? Or what turns out to be the correct answer most of the time? Think about those kind of things too. I try to keep my questions. Y'all are picking out 2 codes versus 1 code. I try to keep them like AAPC. You tell me, Tamlin. Do you get to code extra for that? If you're cutting into the body to do a procedure, do you get to charge another procedure to close the wound you made for the original procedure? Do they allow that? So what is our 33249? Y'all are 33249. That's the insertion or replacement of a permanent implantable defibrillator, and our 33208 is a child code that we can't do nothing with. We have to go to its mama code, which is 33206, which is a pacemaker. Are we implanting a defibrillator or a pacemaker? B is correct. Good job. Keep those things in mind. Most of the time your answer is going to be 1 code, not 2, but they're going to be trying to lead you into thinking that you're going to have to build 2. And whatever your second code is, don't go look it up, because you probably did whatever is in that second code. It's more important to look up the first code and see what's included in it. And especially like in the code 33208, all you have with that code is arterial and venous. You don't have any description of what that procedure is, because you have to go look at its mama code. And mama is 33206. That's where you get the full description that was a different, it was like a pacemaker or something instead of a defibrillator. That's how you find out what your differences are, for sure. What about our next one here? We've got 360, we've got two answers, A and D, that are 360. Then B and C are 362. I find that if the first three digits are different, then you might be under a different header. So 36005 is what? What's going on there? 36005. I'm almost done with the 2024 cardiovascular system. I got tired taking pictures. I just got to finish taking some pictures. And then I'll have those notes up. We only have just a few new codes in that section. But I am taking new pictures this year. Let's see, 36. So intravenous is our header for 36005 and 12. If we go to 36216, our header is atrial and aortic. So first thing is first, A and D are under intravenous, and B and C are under intra-aortic. So what are we dealing with? Are we venous or aortic? That'll help get your answer down to 50-50 shot. What do you guys think the answer is? Is there anything else that you notice out of answers A, B, C, or D that should alert you that maybe they're not the correct answers just by looking at the answers? What do you see? No, just having the CPT book is the main important one for right now. We only have 5 questions on the exam in ICD-10 and 3 in your HIPICS book. Not that they don't have other extra cool stuff like your coding guidelines and stuff, but there's so much book prep involved in the CPT book, and if you are strapped in money and you're doing this, piecing this stuff together a little bit at a time, then absolutely just start out with the CPT book and keep practicing questions with me. Absolutely with it. I do more CPT than I do ICD-10, although I did do a lot of ICD-10 today and guidelines, but that's not usually the norm. Anybody notice anything about these answers? What would alert you? I kind of like where you're going, Tamlin. Did you notice with A and D that there's 2 radiologies with 1 CPT? I mean, they're all CPTs, but 1 procedure code is getting 2 separate radiologies? Is that something we normally see? Is that something you see as a possible answer a lot? Is it something, if you've worked in the medical field, that we code a lot? 2 radiologies with 1 procedure? It's kind of interesting, right? So I would, looking at these, I would eliminate A and D just because of that alone. But also looking up the fact that we're aortic instead of intravenous is also super helpful, and that does get us down to B and C right away. Yeah, it would be very rare that we would have 2 radiologies with 1 procedure. So are we going to build the 16 or the 46? What's your differences? Both are child codes. You really got to go look at your mama code to see what's going on. Are we in the abdominal, pelvic, or lower region for 46? Or for 16, are we in the thoracic brachiocephalic branch? Where are we in the body? Are we in the lower extremities or in the brachiocephalic area? So that should help you tell what answer it is. There you go. So super easy. All you had to do is see if you were venous or aortic, and then see if you are upper body or lower body. A lot of cardiovascular is artery or venous. Then a lot of it is upper or lower part of the body. And then another part of it is, am I on the right or am I on the left? You wouldn't think that, but a lot of stuff in cardiovascular is right or left also, which is interesting. As you're highlighting your cardiovascular section, I highly recommend going through and circling everything that is arterial, aorta, or arteries in red, and then everything that is venous, vein, or ventricular, circle that in blue, because then you'll have some that are combos that do both. Also, if your codes are saying they're going through the right chamber or right whatever, highlight, have you a color for right. Then also have you a color for left. And then your intras, your extras, and your infras need to be highlighted different colors. And that's 70% of your cardiovascular differences right there. I hope this was helpful. We've done 2 hours. We will do 2 more hours on Thursday. We'll do more practice exam questions. Don't forget, here on my website, I've got plenty of practice exam questions, E&M, and Tigmentary and Cardio if you want to join the membership, or I've got free practice area here on the free practice page, and there are flashcards for you guys. There's 3 sets that you can join and do these programs for free. It's meant to help you memorize, sorta, what the headers are for your E&Ms. That way it's easier for you guys to do the E&M section of your exam. Like if the difference was 99291, 99233, 99234, you should automatically know right away with those 3 codes you've got critical care, subsequent hospital visit, or observation in and out. And the way you can memorize sort of that kind of stuff is through flashcards. And you can repeat these flashcard exams by leaving the program and then rejoining it. It's free. And repeat them over and over again. This PowerPoint presentation you can download in PowerPoint and in PDF. And it's got some cute graphics that will help out too. And gosh, there's just a ton of free stuff here on the website. The shared gallery is all my favorite pictures, like how do I get an extra hour in the exam, what pens are you using, what do you use to carry around the books. The blog has job helpful tips, coding tips, resources. The CPT book prep and the video pages are great. The FAQs teach you about our Discord study group and how you can get into that. It's got 3 years worth of information in it, tons of free info. Practice exam questions for all kinds of certificates are inside our Discord group too. You just scroll backwards and you'll see everybody's conversations. You can search conversations there. And don't forget about the best list of free resources here that has grants, scholarships. It also has free education from CMS that you can even take part in. Just tons of good stuff there. And if you do purchase Pocket Prep, please use our little linky thing that we have right here, or it's this one too, because we get some of the money from the purchase of Pocket Prep, and I'll turn it into free YouTube memberships for you guys. Pocket Prep's great. They have 750 practice exam questions for $15 a month. It's great. And if you do the 3 months at a time, they have a pass guarantee. And if you do this, they'll give you 3 more months for free. So it's great. It comes with rationale and stuff, but you don't have to purchase it if you don't want to. If you do purchase any of my notes on my website or even my membership, there is a loyalty program here too, and you'll get a coupon that you can double on top of the coupon that automatically hits as you're purchasing things in my shop, that you can add on top for prior purchases too. So super helpful. The YouTube membership gets you access to all the exclusive videos, like the old workshops, the old classes, the podcast of me reading out the book, the videos of me doing book prep videos, code videos where I'm showing you how to do the book prep, and we're doing individual code acknowledgement, telling you what's going on inside that particular CPT code, what the differences are in all the chapters. Not for every code, but I've got some for every video, every kind of chapter. And then the membership on my website gets you access to bonus PDFs and practice exam questions that are pretty tough. But the bonus PDFs you download instantly right there, unlimited, whatever. And then I have practice questions that go on for days. You just click on the answer and it'll give you the rationale. And I'm adding to them all the time. So hopefully this is all helpful. In case you can't watch the videos, you've got the practice area too. And I will be on TikTok tomorrow night. We will do practice questions, probably from Quizlet or book prep, whatever you guys want to do. Bring your questions, bring your ones that you don't understand what the answers are. Bring your CPT codes that you want to know what the differences are, or where is this guideline. Bring your questions for tomorrow. We'll be on TikTok and I'll answer them on the fly for you. And then we'll be back here on YouTube for Thursday. I hope this is super helpful, and I'm just some lady here on the internet just trying to help you guys out. Even if you don't purchase anything, I'm just happy to help out. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to come to the social media tab, and please join our Discord group. It is super helpful. It has tons and tons of resources in there. Lots of people are in there, like Go-Kart and Twinkle. This little tab right here will show you how to set up your Discord account. No one's tracking you or anything. You won't get ads. I don't get your information. This is just a place where I store all my information. And you guys can post your practice exam questions from your courses or whatever else you've got going on. If you have job issues or a job wants to give you a quiz, we have a ton of them posted in there too, from other people that have tried to get jobs. Every time I find a job opening, I post it in there. We have a room for that. It's just a great area that before I built my website, I was able to build up Discord because our Facebook Messenger group got too large and it won't hold any more people. So, and plus nobody was able to see any of the previous posts. So Discord was our option for that. And it's completely free, and I don't have to pay for server space for all of our info like I do for the Discord or for my website. So it was a good solution back in the day. So it's super helpful. So don't if you have any additional educators that you know that are great, and I don't have them on this list, please let me know, and we can add them. Or any other websites that you know of. Don't forget, AAPC does have a great knowledge center. So if you want to know about, you don't even have to be logged onto their website to go here. Just go to the knowledge center and talk about, anything. Modifier. Let me see if I can type here. Put my hands on the right key. Modifiers, whatever. Just search it and see if they have an article written on it, and click on it, and they often have examples right here. For example, another example of how you would code it, and some of those examples I find in their exam questions. Their knowledge center is great. So if you're having issues with anything that you don't understand, they even have fact sheets. They're all free. You don't even have to be logged onto their website to deal with all this. Super cool. They're sending me to the Narva site to look at their fact sheet, but it's still cool. Modifier 50 fact sheet. It's kind of interesting. But they do have tons of articles they've already written about a ton of stuff. So super helpful. This one came out on April Fool's Day. Great. But lots of resources on my website, and happy to add more. Whatever you guys think y'all might need, let me know. Open to suggestions. Happy to help wherever I can. I will be back on tomorrow night on TikTok. I hope this was helpful. But I'm going to go check on my mom and see how she's doing. Everything's under medical coding by Jen. Everything's the same. The TikTok, the YouTube, everything's the same. And here on my website, under social medias, Facebook, YouTube, I don't have TikTok on here. Oh my gosh. I'm slacking. I'll have to put that on here. I know I used to have that on here. I don't know what happened to it. I have to write the code for this stuff and design it myself. It's just me and Twinkle. So, I can't believe TikTok's not there. Oh gosh. I'll get that posted. But everything's under medical coding by Jen. You can just do a search for that and you'll find all the social medias. I got IG and everything, but it's mostly just to repost what I've already posted on all the other sites. But thanks for asking and pointing that out for me. I hope that's helpful. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Bring your questions, bring your issues, and we'll do all those tomorrow night. I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. And I hope this was helpful.